Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do beer stuff here. Yeah, I guess it's a new catchphrase. It's kind of happened. We'll stick with it, see what's what. Anyway, Fox Farm. Fox Farm, it's their Annata. Yeah, this comes courtesy of me. Well, technically me via Steven, Beer to Palooza. He's like, hey y'all, I'm going to pop by Fox Farm. I'm going to pick up some beer before I come to Beer to Palooza. Anybody want anything? Put it in order. I'll pick it up. And that's where this came from. Annata, 2021 Grape Harvest Farmhouse Ale. Love grapes and beer. As far as the back here, it says from the soils come the spoils. It's kind of their catchphrase. One of the family traditions we cherish most is the annual grape harvest here on Musicville Road. Born out of generations of home winemaking, Salem Valley Vineyard is a labor of love in the truest sense, especially in the late summer as it hosts a special gathering of family and friends. Brewed annually to align with the harvest, this mixed culture fermentation farmhouse ale is re-fermented on those hand-picked St. Croix grapes. We're coming in at 7% alcohol by volume. This is batch 5. March 2022 was the bottle date, so it's 2021 harvest. And typical, that awesome lid and label that Fox Farm is known to do. And then we will grab a bottle opener and we will pour it in this wine glass right here when I find a bottle opener. So yeah, it's been a while since I've had a Fox Farm mixed culture, I think. At least one of these 750 bottles. I kind of want us to get out of there. It's not like gushing or whatever, but it just wants to be drank. So I'm kind of pumped to dive into it, especially some of these grape varietal beers. I believe, I could be wrong, but I think like across the street from Fox Farm, the family, the owners, whatever, Fox Farm, I believe they have some kind of tie to a vineyard. So that's where I assume the grapes kind of come from. I mean, that just looks like kind of like a washed out, somewhere between like a Merlot and a rosé kind of color. The actual head looks pretty much straight up rosé colored. Has a pinky finger of that kind of strawberry quickish kind of head, with this soft kind of Welch's grapefruit or grape juice kind of look to it. Definitely looks part of a fruited beer. So I think we're on schedule with that. But yeah, it looks kind of pretty. It's a good nose. It smells awesome in a way that I did not expect. You know, typically when I'm thinking about a farmhouse ale, mixed culture ale, grapes, I'm thinking tart vinousness. And I'm not really getting that here, at least in the nose. I'm just getting this nice, soft, kind of concentrated, grape, juicy kind of vibe to it. Non-synthetic, when you think of that from concentrate, you think synthetic. I'm trying to say more aggressive, I guess would be the word I was trying to use, than what you typically get from a grape edition. Soft little peppery vibes in there, like cardamom, kind of soft, like farmhouse ale, yeasty kind of vibes to it. Peppery, white pepper, kind of cardamom with this nice, big, rich kind of, I don't know what St. Croix grapes are, but I assume they're dark. And they come off very much as like a grapey, traditional kind of what you think of as a kid as grapes, but on an elevated level kind of grapiness. I'm curious. Dive in. Cheers, y'all. Yeah. I mean, like, this is definitely going to come off as a slight, and I don't mean it like that. It's an adult version of Welch's grapefruit juice in a mixed culture beer. I mean that in a very positive way. It's kind of giving me these kind of old kind of memories from when I was a kid drinking just grape juice or even grape drink, you know? But it not in that like sweet on sweet, sugary kind of high C kind of way. It has that kind of that kind of grape. You know, when a lot of times when you have like a wine grape, they have this very vinous characteristic to it, like I mentioned earlier. This is more of a traditional kind of darker, you know, purple reddish kind of grape, an edible grape is how it comes off for me, as opposed to a wine grape. I'm sure it's a wine grape, and I'm sure it makes great wine, but that's how this novice, when it comes to wine, that's how it perceives for me. Star of the show, absolutely 100% exactly what this beer is trying to be, is that grape harvest beer. But it has this nice, slightly tart, slightly spicy, and that peppery manner, very gentle kind of beer structure, beer backbone to it. That is just really, really tasty. Honestly, this is very, very tasty stuff. Not what I expected. I expected it to be a little bit more acidic, be a little bit more tart, a little bit more vinous, and it really does come off. Again, I mean it as a positive, not a negative, as this kind of, Welch's grapefruit juicy adult version of a mixed culture beer in a very, very fun and very positive way. I think this is tasty. I think it's absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite, actually, mixed. I keep saying mixed culture. It's a Grape Farmhouse ale. They don't talk about mixed culture on here. That's me putting those words in there, so excuse me. But it's probably one of the better farmhouse jams, farmhouse / mixed culture jams that I've had from Fox Farm, for me at least. Is it super wowy or super showy? No. But is it super drinkable? And like just quenching and something I was like, I crack this and I'll drink some and I'll put a cap on it. Revisit it over a day or two before it gets too oxidized. I'm pretty sure I'm going to drink this all tonight. It's just that tasty. What's the ABV on here? I know I said 7%. Drinks, it's a little sneaky at 7%, but with how fun it is and how tasty it is and the style of beer it is, not really kind of get on a soapbox about ABV and percepted impact on this one. But I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really tasty, and I'm just glad I grabbed one, man. Thank you very much, Stephen, for picking this up, and let's talk about it. One of the better farmhouse beers I've had, obviously, yes. Mount Rushmore says very close, if not yes. It deserves to be, let's put it that way. Value and availability, I think this is reasonable. Most of their 750s typically are. I know it's north of 10, south of 20, but I think it's probably closer to the middle, if not closer below that. Stephen, if you know, drop it down there, and let's talk about Fox Farm. What's your dilly on them? Have you been to the brewery? Have you had this particular beer, this particular vintage of this beer? I'm a Fox Farm barrel aged junkie. Am I a hazy guy? Am I whatever? Because they do everything quite fantastically. Let's talk about your experiences. Do it all down there. We all win because we have tasty beer. So there you go. Little Fox Farm Annata. I'm great at names. Annata Grape Harvest beer. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you're enjoying one of these right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.